Yesterday, Yoshi P talked about they already have the capability already to do cross-region. They already have it for a long time, but they never want to do cross-region because of obvious reason, right? Difference in market economy, social norms, aka culture, in-game cultural difference, right? I mean, we all already know that already. If you play Final Fantasy XI back then, you already know that already. If you play any sort of online video games, you kind of already know that already. It's not rocket science. You as an American or you as a European or even as a Southeast Asian, how many times have you really played online games with a Japanese? Very rare. Not just Japanese, Korean, also Chinese people. Very rare. Why? They have their close circle. They have their close community. Korean especially have their own close community. Japan, most games outside of Final Fantasy XI, Final Fantasy XIV, or a few other titles, very close community. You don't see them open up to basically non-Japanese speaking people. It's known. Everybody knows that already. Whereas on the other hand, when you are an English speaking people, it doesn't matter whether you're Oceanic, it doesn't matter you're Southeast Asia, American, or it doesn't matter whether you're European. You have something in common. You most likely look for online the same thing. We all fall under the Western gaming culture. We know where to look for things. We know where to gather to collect information. We know YouTube, what to search. We have Discord community. People join, people get stuff. Japanese don't do that. You rarely see a Japanese join, say, Balance Discord. You rarely see Japanese join, say, Xeno's Discord. You rarely see Japanese join, say, NAEU PF Discord. They have their own shit going on. They use Lordstone. They are still using Lordstones, man. They have their own Game 8. They have their own Famitsu sites and stuff. Very different culture, completely separated, right? They have their own things going. We have our own things going. And when I say we, I mean like, you know, people around the world. Oceanic, Southeast Asians, NAEU. We will look out for the same YouTube guide. We will watch the same streamers. You are an NA World of Warcraft player, you will watch how Echo play the game. You are an Echo fan, you play in EU, you will look at how Liquid and how the other people in the World of Warcraft directory play the game. Disregard of NAEU, right? You know what I mean? I'm talking about in-game. I'm not talking about in real life. I'm not talking about how a French eat their baguette versus an American eat their cheeseburger. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about mainly online. Gaming, online Western culture. We all kind of share the same thing. But Japanese doesn't. So they already can do it, but they don't want to because of the reason, right? Now, because of Dawn Trail, I think they are anticipating a lot of people logging in. I mean, obviously you should, right? Especially MMORPG. Returning player, new player, on-off player, end gamer, casual, everybody will check it out. So, you know, I think they want to like reduce the login stress. So they are now opening, I mean, to be honest, Oceanic Data Center have the most space. They have the same equipment, equally good equipment, but nobody is utilizing it because this server is dead. This data center is dead. So I do think that it's fair that, you know, every other region can go to Oceanic, but not the other way around. And obviously Japanese, North America, Europe cannot go to one another yet. So that people start to discuss, oh shit, if you can do this, MS Paint. So you see, you got your Oceanic, right? And then you got your NAEU, JP. So people are now on Twitter, online, are start talking about the possibility, right? If all of us can go here, when would be the time that Oceanic can go NA? And if that's the case, is it possible that all three of us can also play together? So that obviously, I was like, I don't think you can because of the cultural differences. I play Final Fantasy XI. I speak Japanese. I live in Asia. I have played with Japanese in FF11 since 2004. Today, I'm still playing Final Fantasy XIV with JP community. I'm reading in static. I speak all languages. I go to all three fanfests. I met people in all three regions. I can tell you right now, if you guys play on Elemental, for example, you guys would know that as an Elemental player, as a Southeast Asian, the Japanese don't want to play with you. So can you even imagine, like two servers, Kujata and Thornberry, the JPs already don't want to play with you. What makes you think that NA and EU, two regions, would be well received, accepted as a positive feedback there? Yeah. We all know how NA works. We all know how EU works. NA got their macro, non-macro bullshit. EU got their macro, not so much. JP only use macro and only speak Japanese. They have their own content creators. They don't watch us. They don't play the game like us. Their DPS suck. They play like pussies. They don't know how to optimize. NA do, EU do. Why? We all share the same resource. We all get information the same way. That's what I was saying, right? Most likely NA and EU can play together. Should they? I don't know. Will they? I don't know. But let's just say if you ask me, can NA and EU play video games together? My answer is yes. We have already been playing video games The first time online gaming came out, NA, EU, Oceania, Southeast Asians, we have already all played play video games online, whatever genre, we have already all played video games together. We all know how it works. We all know where to watch. We know where to get information. JP, and even Korea, right? Even China, right? For example, we have no fucking idea how Korean plays the game. We don't know why Koreans play the game that way. We don't know anything about China players. Japanese, we kind of know. You know, Final Fantasy XIV can play with Japanese if you make characters there, and also Final Fantasy XI, where you can play with Japanese and NA together or EU together in one server, right? They have no region lock, right? So now Final Fantasy XIV have the opportunity to do this, but should they? I don't think so, but I do think if they do it, I think NA and EU can play together. Again, not because of IRL culture, but because gaming culture. Online gaming, we can talk to one another. NA knows how EU play the game. We all know what strat EU uses and vice versa. How NA do ultimate, EU doesn't like it, we can say the same. We even trash talk the same way. Even though we don't speak the same language, some Europeans don't speak English, but we all type the same dumb shit on Twitter. We all talk the same way. We all come up with strat. We all like and hate certain streamer. We all like and hate certain strat. That's what I mean. This also includes Oceania, by the way. This also includes Oceania. This also includes Southeast Asians, okay? We all know how NA EU plays. We ourselves play like NA and EU. We ourselves in play in NA EU. And for Final Fantasy XIV especially, ever since 2.0, NA and EU have been playing together. Because back then, there were no EU servers. Even though there were EU servers, but EU servers are actually NA server, because they are in the same location. So EUs ended up playing with NA and NA ended up playing with EU. And then you got NA static with EU, you got EU static with NA. Even today, you look at World First Group, you look at World Second Group, you look at NA static. There's some NA, there's some EU. You look at Xeno. Xeno is playing with safety helmet. Xeno is NA, he's playing with EU, vice versa. NA and EU in Final Fantasy XIV has already been playing together ever since 2.0 already. Now that they have their own servers, right? Today you have your own server, you got Light and Chaos, right? But there's still a lot of NA in here. There's a lot of EUs in here. It's not a lot of NA and EU in JP, very small fraction, but you compare to NA in EU, you compare to EU in NA, that's actually a huge fraction. If one day Final Fantasy XIV Yoshi P decided that they want to make NA and EU a super data center, I think it's doable. I think this will be really good. But should NA and EU play on JP? No. I don't want to say that JP are racist. I don't want to say that JP hates you. They don't hate you. But they do not want to go through the troublesome of explaining how you do things. They don't want you to question how they do things. Why do macro? Macro sucks. I can't read this. Why don't they just put a marker on the ground? Wait, why don't they use haze bean? Why are they still using Lordstone copy pasta macro and put it into in-game? Wait, how come their DPS suck? Wait, why are they making DPS rotate? Why don't we change it? They don't want to change anything. JP will not negotiate. NA will negotiate. NA negotiate too much. EU will negotiate. EU doesn't negotiate enough. JP do not negotiate. And then you have the language barrier. You American cowboys, they don't hate you. But the moment NA comes into play, they're gonna start hate you. It's like Tom Berry and Kujata. JPs already don't want to play with you already. JP only. They already don't want to play with these servers already. What makes you think that they want to play with you and they want to play with you? Oh, but I think it will be cool. I think it will be an eye-opener. I think I will try to blend in. You think that it's fun? That doesn't mean that the entire community thinks it's acceptable. Just because you one individual thinks that it's nice to be an imposter, that doesn't mean it should happen. Now, NA and EU can happen. We already have it. We already got EU imposters in NA and vice versa. In Parks, in Static, in Limsa, that doesn't matter. If they were to open it up, I think this is more acceptable. This will work. I'm not saying that is this a good idea. I don't think so. Is this what they will go for? I don't think so. But if they do, if I do, if you tell me, hey Arthars, I want you to open the gates to regional crossover data center, I will say, okay, NA and EU, sure. JP and NA, JP and EU, no. Let JP play among themselves. Trust me, they don't want you, you don't want them. Unless you're gonna be like me, taking 5 years of Japanese lesson, come to Southeast Asian, start to like Japanese girls, start to actually know Japanese culture, start to join JP static. Like there are some Americans that do that. Sure, go for it. But most of you can't. Opening this is gonna just cause more confusion. It's gonna cause a war. PF war. Again, I'm talking about gaming. I'm talking about Final Fantasy XIV, okay? I'm not talking about IRL. I'm not talking about Americans taking a dump on the streets of Paris. I'm talking about in-game. I'm talking about Final Fantasy. I'm talking about online gaming. So I hope that settles that. You know, some people on Twitter are really dumb. Oh my god. You know what they tell me, right? They told me if you're below IQ 60, you can't even write. But I'm seeing some people here forming constructive overall sentences and they still type dumbly. Some people get it. There are some people that don't. I see a lot of gaijin saying there's no cultural difference. This is excuse. That's why JP don't want to play with them. Not all are tone deaf like this though. Sometimes JP are fond of non-JP, but mainly non-JP just want to do their own way in JP servers. Hence JP don't want to play them. Exactly. A lot of people don't understand. I feel like even NA could cause everybody initially sound like a perfect solution. Yeah, I mean NA and EU have problems. Just look at Xeno and RequestCat. Just look at LPUD, LUPD, or whatever the that EU Discord is, and then the Ulti project. Of course there is, but generally I think it's okay. If they want to open up, I think it's okay. You can already create a character on JP server. I have one. If you can functionally communicate and behave yourself, it certainly is not your place that it should not be allowed. See, this guy knows. If you can behave, you can understand, you can drop your ego and do the shitty things that you don't like that they are doing that works, it's fine. A lot of us are doing it. Tom Berry people are doing it. But dude, do you really think an average NA can do this? Ask yourself. Do you guys really think an average NA and EU will do this? You guys gonna be like opening the gates, right on your horses. Yeehaw! Start shooting your revolver. Bang, 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 bang. We are here, baby. This is our turf now. Curfew has started. This is now an American server. Outside of 10 p.m., no Japanese should be allowed on PF. If I see any Japanese on PF, at 10 a.m. my time in American, I'm gonna terrorize you. I'm gonna shut you down. Americans is gonna do that. You know that. I know that. Arthars, you are wrong. Not all Americans like that. Of course I know they are nice Americans. Of course I know they are nice Americans. But ask yourself this. Will the general Americans be a good boy? Like this guy says, function, communicate, and behave yourself properly. Do you really think an average NA and EU can do that? No. Why? I'm not gonna say that you guys are dumb. You guys don't understand how. I myself, back then in year 2004, when I first played Final Fantasy 11, I am just like you guys. I was a cowboy. I will be shouting in chat, level 30 Dark Knight looking for group, and I will spam Juno. And then I will /SEA or level 28 to 32, and then I will message every single party leader, even though they are JP tab. Please invite me, 30 DRK. We all do that. I was a cowboy back then. I go to the streets of Juno, I join party, and I just behave my Western way. You see what I mean? I'm not talking about in real life lifestyle. I'm talking about online gaming culture and differences. I am not even an American and I'm not even an EU, but the way I play MMOs, I mean, obviously Final Fantasy 11 is not my first MMO, right? I play EverQuest, I play Dark Age of Camelot, I play World of Warcraft a little bit, I play Star Wars Galaxy, I play a little bit of Star Wars The Old Republic. I play MMORPG a lot. So I play with NA, I play with Europeans. I know how it's like to be like a Western online gamer. Now, obviously, I don't know your in real life culture, but we can all agree that we all somewhat knows how to present ourselves, know how to get our way in, maneuver the system, find a guild, find a group, find a party, right? Because that's how we play games outside of specific region. Korean, China, Japan, right? Southeast Asian, Australians. Even though we are not NAs and EUs, we kind of know how it works to play a video game with Westerners. Right? So that's what I mean. You don't need to be pure NA, pure EU to understand online culture. We all know. But JP don't. JP don't want to know how you play the game. And you yourself, trust me, also don't want to know how to play the game. I played FF11 for 12 years. Some people, like this guy says, in Final Fantasy 11, they behave themselves, they speak some basic Japanese, they understand how to respect their system. It works. But most NA don't care. There is so many NAs and EU that play Final Fantasy 11 for like 10 years. They never really bother about playing with JP. So even if they open it up, trust me, it's not going to matter. You wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't invite you. You wouldn't join them because you don't understand. I don't think you guys fundamentally, functionally knows how to play with JP. I myself struggled 4 years in Final Fantasy 11 before I get there. And that experience carried over for me into Final Fantasy 14 that I could play Final Fantasy 14 day one with Japanese. Now, when I say you guys, I don't mean all of you. 95% of you guys cannot do that. Like in the rest of the world, we share similar gaming culture. You know, we speak the same language, we do the same strat. Hey, do you know Hector strat? I know Hector strat. Do you know Hector strat, man? Hector strat suck, but I do know Hector strat. Hey, Southeast Asia, do you know Hector strat, man? I know Hector, I know Game 8, I know every fucking strat. I know that. Yo, JP, do you know Hector strat? Nani? Ooh. That's what I mean. So in a way, I think you put these players together, they know how to play the game together. JP can never understand how the fuck we play the game. So this is like a representation. This is what I mean, right? Similar gaming, Western culture, not talking about in real life. That's why I think this is really good. I hope this goes beyond the test. Oceanic server needs it. Southeast Asian players benefit. NA, EU will benefit. JP, honestly, irrelevant. To them, this is irrelevant. I don't think they give a I don't think they care. They have their own enough huge community to play the game among themselves. They don't need us. Oceanic needs us. Southeast Asian in JP players needs us. We need a way out. Southeast Asians, Tom Berry, Kujata people need a way out. So I hope this goes beyond testing. Yeah, right? So that sums up what I'm trying to explain. Hopefully people understand that. Because my God, Twitter don't understand that. Jesus Christ, they don't understand it. I wish I put gaming instead of Western. And you know what? Twitter cannot edit. Honestly, Twitter is just a shitty place. Like, when you type something in Twitter, you need to make sure that you cover IQ range 0 to 1000. If you type on Twitter, happy typing, miss out a character, misspell something, Twitter is going to be all over your ass. Hopefully, this YouTube video will properly explain my experience.